Last time on Dice Funk, Gov.
I do believe that the stars have power, but I also believe that we have power ourselves. Voya has said in the past that she believes that we each are stars unto ourselves, and that means that our connections within Grendel forms its own constellation.
Liches need something called a phylactery, which is a container which has souls in it. And as long as the container exists, they can just keep regenerating there. They do need to occasionally feed souls to it. And so the only way to get rid of Voya permanently is to destroy that stone.
You really owe Oz an apology for trying to assume he was a killer.
Cat's intention is to take over the Wind and Dine Flayer, possibly with Slime. I think that's Slime's intention too. So the Slimed and Dined Flayer was the plan. And so I wanted to take a level in Bard with the flavor that Cat has spent a bit of time looking around the Wind and Dine Flayer and trying to understand stuff and maybe looking at recipes. And she's just trying to understand some of Neelith's cooking.
Ooze out into the open hole from the from when we went through its head.
Relatable.
And the body starts twitching and convulsing and just like really just very upsetting and huge and scared, but they can't leave because they're glued to a tree. Don't ask questions. Hello, am I huge? Do you see how big I am?
The Metatron fan? It's the angel feather fan?
The fan that you stole from the people of my wife?
No, I traded for it.
Why do you want the fan back?
It's mine? Does private property not mean anything anymore?
It doesn't mean anything to me.
I've been thinking that the stone, the Voya stone, is not going to be very accessible with all of those frost giants, but if there was a sheep uprising, maybe that could cause a distraction. What do you think?
I mean, that's admirable and all, but also don't we have like a non-interference thing? Like I feel like if we were involved with a sheep uprising, the frost giants would kick our houses down the mountain.
Well, but see, this is what could work about my plan, is what I'm saying, is that we wouldn't... So maybe we would be interfering, but maybe they don't know that we are interfering, and we are just instead promoting rebel sentiments among the population who are already there.
Oh, a slime brought me this. It said I needed to clean it and get the lanolin out and make a little thing. And she hands you your third dose of flammables. We have 2 alcohol and a lanolin.
So I'm about to use the spell Find Familiar, in case everyone's wondering.
I am wondering.
You gain the service of a familiar, a spirit that takes an animal form of your choice, and I'm changing it just a little bit. It can be like anything. I'm choosing a dog because I feel like that's solid.
Yeah.
You could be vetted if you agree not to ever force anyone to do things without their consent, and that violence is not the solution to any problem within the community.
And then you see the slime on the skeleton kind of rumble and stretch and like tremors all through him. And a big chunk of mold like pulls off and like squishes out of him. You know, the way you extrude often, you vomit yourself out. But basically a big chunk of mold rebels and plops off of the skeleton of the frost giant, and kind of with William's skull still inside, I think. And so you see that there's this William skull blue slime mold that kind of crawls off the body and onto Bludolf the reindeer, the giant reindeer we established that's covered in the blue mold, and it kind of like adheres to the reindeer. And Mold says, "There was not a clear consensus whether or not to accept the no violence proviso, so we have compromised." And Mold reaches out for the dog as William Skull, who is now a separate character, because that's how slime works. And the reindeer trot off into the forest.
I was following the pack, all swallowed in their coats, with scars of red tied round their throats, that keep their little heads from falling in the snow. And I turned round and there you go, and Michael, you would fall and turn the white so red as strawberries in the summertime.
Yeah, but that's why it was so key that they established their love, like the beginning of the relationship in the Han Solo movie. So we know that's the reason why Han and Leia got divorced, because he couldn't give up his true love. Like he married Leia for political gain, obviously, but who he really loved was Chewie. This is a classic Diana / what's her face, who also fucked Prince whatever his name was.
Love isn't a scarcity, and many scarcities are simply manufactured for profit by capitalist shitlords. So what I would say here is we're clearly looking at a polyamorous relationship.
Oh, I don't get the impression that General Leia would have been up for polyamory. I feel
Han
like
loves them both in different ways, but Leia, she's monogamous, and that's okay. That's fine. It's nothing wrong with that.
Look, I feel like there's a certain degree of, if you're a public figure in the public eye, it makes it more difficult for you to avoid monogamy, and, you know, that it was all just getting a bit complicated.
There's a certain level of, like, what are the newspapers, what are the holocrons saying? They're going to be saying General Organa's husband's Wookiee radical boyfriend is the one really setting the agenda here.
If General Organa can't pick between two lovers, how will she pick between two battle plans?
True.
Are you going to play the Star Wars RPG on Rolling with Rainbows?
That's season 2. That's literally season 2. We're going to play... Yeah. My character is literally Greedo with huge tits.
Well, we can't have the fucking episode title in the banter intro, but Greedo with giant tits is up there.
But if somebody says it during the rest of the episode, then we can.
Austin, can I change my character for next season of Dice Funk to be Neelith is back but has huge tits?
I thought everybody was going to say...
I like these anime rules.
Everyone's going to change their season 9 character to Greedo with giant tits. Just 4 Greedos.
I'm already
I'm
already playing Greedo with huge tits somewhere else. I will be the only unique character in the cast in season 9. Everyone else will be Greedo with huge tits, and I'll have this one weirdly misplaced Greedo with huge tits in my other podcast.
They're in the wrong campaign. Oh no, they should have been swapped over.
They were swapped at birth.
They were stolen at birth from the others. They're the family.
Oh my god.
The
tragic backstory of Zala Jakal.
Tragic backstory. They're quintuplets. One of them is the antagonist, and one of them is in a different campaign.
Nice.
Fantastic.
We need to do Dice Funk because it's not. Everything's weird today.
I could talk about Greedo's huge tits all day.
Do you think Luke and Leia still made out sometimes?
100%.
Okay, we're going to ignore that question and move on. I had this idea of the infiltration of the Frost Giant village, like, in place from the beginning. Like the 2 plot points I had in mind starting was, like, Secret Lich hiding there, a phylactery in an inaccessible place in this village of Frost Giants who are really badass. And then suddenly Sophie did a big brain, and now we're doing a sheep uprising. So there goes my, like, Metal Gear Solid sneaking mission where all the guards can party wipe you.
Listen, Snake, here is the mission. First, you're...
Governor, this is a sneaking mission.
The president needs you to...
I'm not a bad enough dude to save the president.
I actually haven't played any Metal Gear. I need to.
So yeah, we can start in a number of ways here. It could my intuition is to do it in character with you all walking away from the village, and then Phillippa explaining to everyone else what's going on, or we can get right into roles. But we are where we are.
I do want to roll something to start because it is a new arc, so I have to determine whether it is benefic or malefic for Aze this arc. And it is back to benefic, baby.
Look, sometimes the dice gotta tell the story.
I rolled a 2. It's the lowest benefic possible, but it's not malefic.
Nice.
Voya was right. The stars clearly have all the power.
The only time it was malefic is that one arc, and I never even used it once.
Jeez.
Can we do any kind of roll to know more about how phylacteries work at all, or is there anyone in town we can ask about this that would know?
Arcana.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
I can do one of those.
20.
Ozzy rolled an 18.
22.
16.
Wow, great rolls. So here's the important things to know about phylacteries for our campaign, because obviously the specifics have changed from edition to edition of Dungeons and Dragons. So it's hard to say what's the like canon or official way this works. But here's how it works for us: is that when people become liches, they do die. Voya died, and saying she came back is inaccurate. She doesn't have a soul anymore, which is why she kept saying things like, I can't feel what you're saying. Like, I can't feel sad about Inri dying. I know it's sad, because her soul didn't come back, just her, electricity and biology. So she doesn't have any feelings in those ways. Her soul is gone. But she's being powered by the phylactery, by the Akashic Stone, and that needs, as an energy source, souls to be fed to it. So here's where this gets dark, is that Neelith, Very, and Ruth's souls have been fed to the phylactery. And so you're going to the Frost Giant village to get Voya to fortify the Veil, but I think there's a good argument that you need to free Neelith and Very and Ruth's souls by destroying the Akashic Stone. But of course, there's an argument that you shouldn't do that, because that will enrage Voya, whose help you need. So there's a trade-off there, and that's further complicated by the fact that Nobi absolutely wants to destroy the stone, because he needs to kill Voya finally, so that Voya no longer is a threat to his power and his having a quarry, which he will lose if she goes through with her plan. So it's like you've brought a spy into this already difficult choice. It's like you need her help, but maybe she's a danger to the village and you should destroy the stone. But maybe not, because maybe she's right about her being what's best for the village, and maybe you'll set her free when you destroy the stone. Maybe this life she's living isn't worth living, as Kat said in that big debate they had about her existence. But maybe you have to free your friends from the torture or the pain, the existential or otherwise, of being trapped in the stone. So that there's all this stuff wrapped up in this very difficult decision. So you're using these sheep as a distraction to get you in there, but then there's going to be this secondary layer of like, what do we do about the stone?
Okay. How are phylacteries any more resistant to being destroyed than the object themselves? Like, is there any additional phylactery defense, or just it's the object? If you can destroy the object, you destroyed the object.
Yeah, this is another thing that can range depending on what your DM says. I'll say for our purposes, there isn't any specific thing beyond the fact that the Akashic Stone is extremely well defended by an entire village of very powerful foes, and also just touching it kills you. So Inri specifically chose it for what a pain in the ass it is to deal with, but also it is at the end of the day a big rock. So
right. Yep. So, yeah, it has a lot of natural defenses about it that make it more difficult to break than maybe another type of object serving the same purpose. So that's another thing we'll have to reckon with while we're, standing on the bridge, as it were.
Nobi, what do you think? Will you be trying to drive off the giants or draw them away more? What is your military tactic? I defer to you.
My thought from the outside is I feel like Nobi's tactic would probably be something very aggressive and overly confident.
Okay, there's a lot going on here. I think we might be overthinking it. Do we want to roll animal handling to get the sheep on our side? Do we want to cast spells? I think it is time to do some D&D.
I'm rolling animal handling. Bam. 15.
Sure. I can do that.
7.
9. Arze.
Aze rolls a 10.
Oh my gosh.
All right, 7, 9, 10, 15. So the party fails, so you do not. First of all, you go, walking out of Grendel up the mountain a bit, trying to find some sheep. There are sheep all over the mountain, and you come across a herd, and you all try to calmly approach them, and they just start running away because they're sheep. And what are you doing? Leave me alone.
Phillippa at first is approaching them like, "Hey, it's me. I taught you about lesbians. Do you remember?" And then behind her, all the rest of the party are just running at them, and one of them is a giant centipede monster, so it terrifies them all. Yeah.
I was literally gonna say if you succeeded on this check, some of them would be like, "Oh, it's you from the fun lesbian facts." But the party fails, so I assume this is mostly not the same sheep, and so they just instinctively run away. So the interesting consequence here of this failure is that the sheep are on the defensive as far as joining in on your plan.
Phillippa can already speak with animals because of her druid path, and she additionally has animal friendship, which can convince the sheep that she means them no harm. And if I cast it at a higher level, I could convince several sheep who could help me to spread the word.
Do that. That sounds good. Cool.
I'm gonna do that. I've done that. I've casted it at 3rd level, so I convince 3 sheep that I mean them no harm.
Yeah. Okay. So you fail just trying to do a check, which means you have to burn a resource. That's kind of the way this game works, is you try to get away with using as few resources as you can, and then you start burning through them. So you convince a couple sheep that you mean them no harm, and they're willing to listen to you, and you tell them about how to approach lady sheep and show that you are interested.
Yes, that's right. I go, "Hey, you! No, you! No!
Oh my god!
Any yous who are here, listen!
I hate you.
If you like other yous, I have important information for everyone."
Yeah, you son of a bitch! I'm gonna murder you.
I just see a little Phillippa popping up in the corner, just in the corner of the episodes, just issuing lesbian sheep facts on every episode. It's just your little extra slice of facts for the day.
So you get a couple of sheep on board. So I don't know, last episode when we left off, if you were picturing a tidal wave of sheep sweeping the frost giants off the mountain, this is more like a crack team of,
Elite sheep. Specialized sheep. One's a demolitions expert. The other's a hacker. One's really good at gymnastics.
I'm gonna burn another spell slot to get way more sheep on board.
Do you think there's some sort of I could rally them with my giant, or should I just lay down?
Nobi, stand here. Put one of your 4 hoofs onto Slime like you have conquered her. And I cast 6th level animal friendship. This won't come back to bite me using my 6th level. And I say to all the sheep that I can,
Holy
possibly,
shit.
Nobi has returned! Look! The mighty warrior! Nobi the brutal is back!
He earned my respect through lots of confidence and riding on my head. It happened.
We're going into the final arc. The Dreaming Dark is coming for you. There's a fucking level 18 Lich. There's a fucking frost giant skeleton being piloted by a mold colony. And you were using all your spell slots on sheep. Oh.
The sheep deserve an uprising.
Austin, a really big spell slot got burned on this. You have to make this go perfect, otherwise you're cheating.
Also, Mari, don't believe Phillippa's Grendel imperialist propaganda. The sheep may deserve an uprising, but she's co-opting their cause.
Still, that's how uprisings go. You just have to accept the good with the bad. You think France helped the United States out of goodwill? Oh, no, great job. No. Just to say fuck you to England.
All right, with that inspiring speech, Nobi gets in there with you, Phillippa, as you're casting Animal Friendship and is trying to help rally because you introduce Nobi as Nobi the Brutal, and Nobi is saying like now's the time to take our fight to the Frost Giants and teach them they can't just eat us. Being very cool and badass. And you get more on your side. Like I don't know, what do you think's fair for a 3rd level and a 6th level Animal Friendship? I know by the rules there's a number, but I think when some join, they can can convince others. Peer pressure,
like a Katamari of sheep.
A Katamari of sheep.
I think you just take whatever
Katamari
spell
of
level.
sheep.
You take whatever spell level
Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
is being used, and just take the factorial of that. So, if for 3rd level you get like 6, and for 6th level you get like 720. Just a nice simple number.
I think 9 combined levels worth of spell. I think deserves all of the possible sheep.
What do you call? I mean, it's called sheeple for a reason. It's like, oh, you're following the crowd. So obviously, once you get a few sheep going.
Okay, I'll back down from my initial offer, Austin. Let's do 6 cubed, so 216. I think that's a pretty fair number.
You're just having fun with math over there. You're just thinking about numbers.
You're damn right I am. Yes.
Okay, well, a lower number that Austin might accept, but still fun with numbers, is 3 to the power 4. Now, how I arrived at that is, we've got 6 squared. That would be all those 6 sheep I spelled with my 6th level slot, told another 6 sheep, and they all joined in.
Mm-hmm.
Are we pyramid scheming how many sheep are in this?
In the 3-1, the first one, they all told 3 sheep, and they all told 3 sheep. And that's how we wound up with 81 sheep. Is that, I think.
Why can't we go with what I said and just have it be a sheep Katamari? Just like.
I really like the sheep Katamari. Could we bewitch these sheep to turn them into a sheep Katamari?
Yes. And then we're going to throw them in the sky.
Stick them all together with slime. We have slime.
Yeah. I can mend them all together.
So many sheep are gonna fucking die today. Oh no.
Yes, that is the plan.
Yeah. No, I know that, but... Oh no. Oh.
What do you want to roll to assist? Any spells you want to cast to help your sheep Katamari?
Yeah, that's like imbue constellation on what? The mass. I'm just gonna point to the mass of it counts as one creature when they assemble it into the Katamari.
I think Katamari is one creature.
What challenge rating do you think is the king of all cosmos?
Oh my god.
Pretty high, I'd say.
That's undefined, unfortunately.
This is a man who casually destroyed the universe when he had a bad nap.
He's just out there juggling Tarrasques.
Yeah, how do you do Tarrasque multiplied by Tarrasque?
Yeah, let's talk about factorials more. Fucking hell, someone roll or I'm going to eat my own face.
So I would like to point out there's the possibility of it just being a huge sheep flesh mass. What do we think?
That's very on key for Slime's body horror of this season.
But no, the
Gosh.
sheep would be, that's too many suffering
It's
for sheep.
the ending to Inside. Good God.
Yeah, that I was going to say fucking Slime's the color out of space.
I didn't want to say that, but that was a wild movie. You can fabricate wooden bridges from a clump of trees, a rope from a patch of hemp, and clothes from a flax or wool. But I don't.
Creatures can't be transmuted by this spell. It says it right there in Fabricate. Creatures can't be transmuted by this spell.
Okay, well, it depends on if
Okay.
you validate sheep life. Do you?
I did. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna roll for the sheep, and it's not gonna go well. And I gave you a chance.
Austin,
I gave you all the clues.
Austin, I use Mage Hand to.
I cast web on the sheep.
Web is good.
I use Mage Hand to roll the big sheep Katamari.
Yeah, and I cast web on the sheep, and then so that webs them together.
Okay, so if you burn spell slots for web, and I guess Mage Hand's a cantrip, so where it's only one, I will give you both proficiency for that, and then advantage for bringing Nobi along to lead. So that's what I'm going to roll. That's what I have right now. It's a D20 plus 8 with advantage. Can we live with this?
Yes.
Yes, that's a pretty
Sure.
good.
That's pretty
roll.
good.
I can live with that. That sounds pretty all right.
23.
Katamari.
Yeah!
Katamari.
Katamari! Yeah!
Thank you, Austin. You're the best.
Katamari Debussy.
I hate
The season's
I
over.
just
I did
really
it. That was
hate-
the last joke. We don't know.
Katamari Debussy.
For anyone concerned, all of the sheep are safely spaced, so none of them are squished or uncomfortable.
Imagine this from the Frost Giant's perspective, right? Like a Frost Giant is sitting in the guard tower looking out over the horizon. He has a sandwich in one hand. He has like a pike in the other. He's like, yes, what a calm day. I can't wait to go home to my wife and the children and read a bedtime story. What's that? Na 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 Katamari Debussy.
A giant mage hand.
And on the top of it, Nobi's running backwards to make it run to make the ball run forward.
And there's a fucking mage hand pushing it, and it hits a hill, and it's just free, and it's just, oh no.
So, you wonder how I got in this situation? Well, it's a long story. And then just...
Oh my god. Yeah, and so the sheep Katamari. But now this is unadaptable now. In my heart, I've always said this is gonna be an HBO show, but you can't make this look good in live action.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. I've seen Chinese cinema.
You gotta embrace that it'll look shit and just embrace it, okay? Just embrace it.
I guess it could work as a Bollywood kind of deal.
Austin, it's fine, because by the time we've reached season 8 of the live-action adaptation, you know, HBO will have enough faith in our ability to tell a story that they'll put that real, like, big bucks money behind CGI animating this.
In the HBO adaptation, the sheep just run as a herd, and there's a gory battle, and practically everyone dies. But in the Netflix adaptation, instead of a Katamari, they form a sheep Evangelion, which Nobi pilots.
Based off of my knowledge of his Dark Materials HBO adaptation, where the epic witch battle filled with hundreds of witches were supposed to be, there was one witch. I don't have anything else to say. I was just upset.
That's what I'm saying. But it's too late now. We've committed to Katamari. The ball hits the front gates of the Frost Giant village and breaks them open, and the Katamari goes rolling in as the guards, shout, probably blow a horn or something. Everyone starts scrambling by this very unexpected incursion. And I guess you all want to roll stealth to sneak in behind?
Yes.
Yes, because I am stealthy.
12.
I am not stealthy.
13?
Ozzy rolls a 10 with disadvantage, even.
Okay, so two things here. One, the party fails. Two, you are in a 30-foot remor raise. So I feel like this is kind of always the situation. You know how you get disadvantage on stealth for wearing heavy armor? I feel like you also get disadvantage on stealth for being in a 30-foot centipede.
I am naked. So actually your logic is extremely flawed.
I think the point is that, like, if like a kaiju, like, you know, Godzilla or otherwise, you know, they're naked.
No, according to the rules of Dungeons and Dragons and other RPGs, if I'm wearing no clothes, I'm very stealthy. I know this because I got naked and stared at a woman in Oblivion for an hour, moving back and forth as she slept.
You probably didn't have to say that into a microphone.
I did.
Okay, so you get it in, but someone spots slime. Obviously, where do you go? Because you don't know the village like at all. Also, now that you've been spotted, this political situation is going to get much trickier because the Frost Giants have a pretty strict "do not come here" rule that you've just broken.
What am I doing? This whole time I'm like, we're doing a stealth check on the crucial time. It's time for a pass without trace. What am I doing? What am I doing, everyone? Everybody, what am I doing?
Oh my gosh! Oh, doesn't that mean that I also, the giant Remore, am cloaked?
Yes. We're all cloaked now.
Stealthily.
Austin, we passed without trace before we did that roll.
Yeah. No. They saw us and now we're gone, and so they have to live with the anxiety of knowing we're around, but they don't know where we are.
Oh, geez, this is bad. Yeah, okay, so the Frost Giants have a zero tolerance policy for being disturbed at the best of times, but now you've done a military action with the sheep Katamari. So this, okay, they only catch a glimpse of the Remorays. They don't know that means Grendel's involved, and then the pass without a trace works. So you're safe for the moment. But I've said this before, and I want to emphasize now. If they find you, they'll kill you, and they'll know you're from Grendel, so they'll kill everyone in Grendel too. From here on out, if you get spotted, you have to kill the witnesses, or you lose the campaign. With that said, you find yourself in the Frost Giant village, under a veil of shadows and darkness, and it is a village very much like the one you came from, very peaceful, a lot of distance between all the much larger huts. What do you do to find your way to the Akashic Stone?
Yeah, I was gonna have Aze cast locate object / object triangulation.
That seems pretty perfect.
To try to figure out where the Akashic Stone is.
Yep, perfect. That works exactly the way you want it to.
Mm-hmm.
Within 1,000 feet, you just run across the town square in the opposite direction of the Katamari until you feel the location of the Akashic Stone, which is a long house that appears to be some kind of religious temple. It's simple as that. There it is.
Mm-hmm. I like to think that in this variation of his star map, he has one of the orbs, but the various tarot cards he made are just arbitrarily just floating around it. One, because it's just extra. And two, I'm just going full Astrologian, where they have magic floating cards around their spellcasting implement, and I'm just embracing it. But yeah, so Aze's just pointing along where to go while we're trying to avoid detection as much as we can.
So the party is veiled by shadows and silence as you sneak over to the temple. The ruckus caused by the Katamari is in the other direction now, and no, you don't see any guards in your immediate area, but you walk up to the door to the temple, and it is locked. What do you do?
Laura, did you just make that Katamari Debussy?
I might have done.
Phillippa can wild shape? Whichever one it is.
Yeah.
Turn
Wild out.
which she's gonna wild out and turn into an ant, go under the door, and see if she can unlock it from the inside.
Before you do that, I do have the spell knock, in case you don't want to burn that.
Doesn't knock make a very loud sound.
It does, so therefore it's useless, and your idea is better. I just didn't know if you wanted to burn that slot or not.
Yeah. Well, yeah, so I'm going to wild shape into an ant, go under the door, see if I can unlock it from the inside. Is it that kind of lock when I get inside? Can I open it?
Yeah, it is the kind of with the long board and a couple of... God, I should know these terms. You know, there's like
The thingy.
it's
The metal hook
Yeah,
thingies
yeah.
that you put the board on. Yeah.
I literally have no idea how that could translate to any lock I've ever thought of or seen. I don't know. You couldn't be farther from anything I can think of. A board? What?
It's on a door. There's a bunch of like hooks, and you drop
Yeah.
a board on them.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking
I'm getting a picture.
Oh, like old timey, like you're in a siege.
Yeah.
Yes. What? What do you think we're
You
doing?
said lock. That's not a lock. That's a barricade.
Yeah, but from the outside, you wouldn't know that. It's just locked
Yeah.
to you.
I'm
Oh
sorry.
my god.
So
I just couldn't figure it out. I'm sorry.
Laura has put exactly what I'm talking about in the chat. Thank you. Here's the thing: is that it's made for frost giants, which are 18 feet tall, and you're Phillippa, who has hollow bones.
Easy McPeasy, my dude. Time for a flame blade. I slice through that log. Bam. And you know what else I do? I go...
Yeah, the sound is what makes it work. Yes.
Except none of us hear the shoom because of password trace.
No. I have an official Star Wars licensed lightsaber that does make the boom sound with several crystals with different sound options in case anyone wants to sample it.
Can I get a strength saving throw to control your strike such that you don't start a fire?
That does seem like a fair thing to ask for. Okay. 2, I botched.
This is the Phillippa hour all day.
Oh, why did I just not burn one of my 3 spell slots? Oh.
Phil,
The funny thing about this is if Chris was still here, they would have set this fire on purpose, so nothing would have changed.
Chris would have just been like,
Yeah.
let's fuck around and find out. Boom!
Phillippa swears loudly in Druidic.
Aze just blinks a few times. Oh shit, something must have gone wrong.
Yeah, you cut through this board that is barring the door, but it takes you have to press the blade down into it, and you're pushing, and it's kindling a fire. And as your blade passes through it, like 2 flaming halves fall to the ground and start catching, and the door opens, and your party sees that you have started a fire in the temple.
Does Aze speak Druidic? Is that what you meant?
Yeah,
Oh.
he is a druid.
The swear she said meant Greedo with huge tits.
The standard druidic curse when things go wrong. You know it well.
It's universal. It speaks to everyone.
Okay, is the Akashic Stone here, and is our lovely, wonderful, not dead friend here?
So first of all, the Akashic Stone is not in this room. Second of all, there is fire in this room. So I don't know what your priorities are, but I want to put that out there. You would need to roll something else. Actually, so you have locate object active. So I'll say that you definitely detect it underneath you.
All right, so I got a question for you. Can we consider one of these logs, one of these halves of this beam, a small campfire?
Because of the spell that lets you douse campfires? Is that what you're saying?
Druidcraft says you can instantly light or snuff out a candle, torch, or small campfire.
Alternatively, create or destroy water explicitly says I can extinguish flames.
Okay, yeah, I think this is what I was gonna say. Is 1 cantrip might not be enough for 2 flaming logs starting a fire, but if one of you is doing create water and one of you is doing the campfire snuffing, then yeah, that is enough.
Yeah. Also, my term is astral impression because I didn't want to do StarCraft as the term. So, so yes. So they're like Aze and Phillippa break out the fire extinguishers, just get to work real quickly, while they both curse about Greedo's tits in Druidic, so no one else knows what they're talking about.
Right, is there any obvious way down? Because if not, I've got a spell slot that could maybe get us down if we can't find a way soon.
It sounds like you would like to roll investigation.
Yeah, let's investigate.
Additionally, Phillippa would like to say to Slime, Slime, I need you to mend this log so it looks like I never cut it, because if we have obviously burned through something, they will know that more than just the sheep were here.
Okay, blah.
Basil got a 22 on investigation.
Ozzy rolled a 12 on investigation to try to help.
Can anybody in their head picture what like an 8th century like Scandinavian worship building would look like on the inside? I cannot.
Okay. Of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure, yeah, I'm in.
Yeah.
My friend is a Swedish historian, and she took us around Uppsala and the ancient... I can, but okay, it's fine.
I've played Assassin's Creed, so...
I I haven't played that Assassin's Creed yet, but I have seen the history show Vikings. So I feel like we're all
documentary
roughly on the
Vikings.
same level.
I've watched the Nova Science Now documentary about the famous Viking sword Uthpert several times. So
All right, well, Mari's the expert. So, Mari, you describe what this building looks like on the inside.
you walk in, it's covered in graffiti of things called, like, Thor was here. And it's true. That is a documented fact that they did that. Okay? I'm citing real shit. And then everything else I'm about to make up, it's like pictures of dongs, like hot dudes all over it. Okay. Just like sexy, oiled up dudes.
I meant more architecturally than that, but fine.
Oh, all the pillars. You know how like they'll make pillars out of hot women? No, these are hot dudes. Whatever you think a hot dude looks like, because I'm not here to tell anyone what a sexy man is. That's what the pillars are, and they all are aroused with whatever genitals they have.
Mother, all of these pillars look like Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah.
Do the Frost Giants have such a serious no contact rule because they don't want you to see their Magic Mike church?
Well, this is very much like the Church of Mormonism, because I know for a fact that's what their secret room is just a room of statues of naked men. So that's actually where I'm getting the idea from.
I cut out that long thing where I talked about Mormonism in a previous episode because I didn't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but this time it's a plot critical that you said that, so it's getting left
I'm
in.
sure any Mormons listening are going to be like, she knows.
Basil, please, before we talk any more about this.
What do I find in the horny church?
At the far end, away from the door, there is a kind of an altar, and you can push it forward, and there's a hatch in the floor.
There's also bowls of fire at the base of each of the pillars of the hot men, so like all of their beautiful bodies are illuminated by light.
Basil uses Mage Hand and starts pulling open the trapdoor.
They're somehow oily as well.
All right. I was going to say it's locked as well, but I want to get out of this church as quickly as possible, so it's not.
What do I see down the trapdoor, Austin?
There's stairs going down into the darkness, Basil.
Slime's 1,000 feet are exploring the bodies of...
Basil starts going down the steps, not wanting to stick around in place where big giants want everyone dead. Doesn't seem a wise place to stay.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll Frost Giant Perception here just to get an idea of what their style is right now. That's a 9, so they're not doing great. That's just for me. You don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, even if they had done great, we do have Pass with Trace right now, which surely helps.
Okay, so since this is a Frost Giant building, I'm gonna assume my body's like okay to get in here.
That's a great question. It's going to be tough. It's going to be a tight fit. I mean, the door, I should say that the Mage Hand can only lift 5 pounds. You shouldn't be able to lift this door. But I think if everybody pitches in here, you can get the trapdoor open and squeeze down into the cellar here, or the basement, as it were.
I appreciate that. Also, you overestimate my understanding of how much a pound is in weight.
It's less than half a kilo, so...
Here's a British question for you. Sorry if this is weird. Do Laura and Sophie have the same accent?
No.
Oh, no. Even I could tell that.
I can't, okay? So that's where
My
I'm
family's
at.
from Liverpool, but I have a messy accent because I was born in New Zealand.
I have a Canadian half of the family, but I live down on the south coast in the like touristy south coast places, so I've got a weird accent.
Laura, do the exaggerated version of your area for us.
Oh, I'm sort of from Dorside. This is the exaggerated sort of. It's like rural farmer is where my accent comes from.
And my family's from up north, specifically Airpeel. So my mum sounds a bit more like this, but my nan sounded way more like this.
Oh boy.
So yeah, that's the inspirations that our accents come from. That's where we're working from.
I am such a fool. It's all British to me. Anyway, what? Why did I bring that up? I've completely lost my train of thought.
We're losing the tracks here. They're just gone.
Pounds. It was 5 pounds, which is about 2.5 kilos.
We opened the door as a team. We got through the door. We went down the stairs.
Yes. All right. It's dark in the basement here. Who has dark vision?
You don't know what
I do.
I do.
I have dark vision.
Oh, I do. I have 60-foot dark vision.
But if everyone does, you all see perfectly well down here that the Akashic Stone is on the far wall. It is under glass. It has like a container here. And there's also a bunch of other like religious equipment. There's censers, the things with the incense. There's just like chairs and tables and stuff that would be brought out for high feasts. There's probably some kind of equipment for doing animal sacrifices, just like ceremonial blades and cups and so forth. It's like the storage area. You assume the Akashic Stone is brought out to the first floor when it's like presented. Like, you don't think the giants come down here to like interact with it.
Kat, do you want to sit in my head hole so you can know where we're going?
How would that help?
Well, you can't see anything, so.
I can't see anything either. I don't have dark vision. I checked my character sheet.
Okay, who wants to get in the head hole?
Produce flame.
One of the other two of you, I'm happy to use Mage Hand to sort of nicely guide you down. We can be travel buddies.
So nobody wants to get in my head hole?
Thank you, Mother, but I think Phillippa is making a light.
So Phillippa uses her cantrip Produce Flame and makes a little light, and now she and Kat can see, because it turns out neither of my characters here can see in the dark.
That's fine. That's a cool idea, too. That's fine.
Basil is quietly a little bit sad at not having the opportunity to help someone.
I still don't understand how being in your head hole would have helped, but...
I could have carried you. You could have taken a nap.
I would like a nap.
All right, you want to get in the head hole?
I would love to.
Okay, get in here.
Two things about how I'm picturing the scene. One is that most of the Remorae's body is still on the first floor, and you've just got like, the head and neck kind of like coming down the stairs and having this conversation. And the second thing is that you checked your character sheet, saw you didn't have dark vision, and then you produced flame to make your hand a little torch. And then you realized you were an owl, but you were too embarrassed to say anything, and then just kept going. Because we reflavored, the Aarakocra to be owl without taking into account that you definitely have dark vision.
Yeah, she absolutely would, but it's not listed. Yeah, so she does it, and then she's like, yeah, it's to help Kat, and then Kat's snoring, like, because she's asleep already.
All right, here we go. The Akashic Stone is glowing blue across the room. It is under a glass container. What do you do?
I want to lick it.
I want to do like perception or something to be like, is there a lich about to like fucking jump us for coming near this thing?
Yeah, so you're thinking about that while the Remorae's head just starts licking the glass. And so I don't know if it was like an Ocean's 11 situation. It's a little late. You've already touched the glass, but there's no obvious.
Can I Arcana with my licks?
You can Arcana with your licks. I mean,
the question is like, what are you trying to determine from the licks?
I've been beaten down.
You said we gotta be worried about a lich. Lich have like fucking magic shit going on. I don't know.
Austin, this is the weird combination of us starting late, but also simultaneously the UK people starting early. We're in a weird. We're in the time vortex, okay, Austin? You can't police the time vortex.
I'm just gonna be in the nursing home, and I'm just gonna say to my nurse, just like, Arcana with my licks, and they're gonna be like, okay, Grandpa.
But like, I'm already licking the glass, and I wanted to roll Arcana, so I was trying to integrate that. It's just
like you gotta be like, it's like
You're just like, what are you trying to do with the licks? What are you trying to do with it to justify Arcana? Is the question, I think.
Just roll it. Just roll
Just
it.
roll it, dude. I just want to roll it. 22.
Oh my god.
What do I find out about the lich from my licking? Yeah, but like the licking's it's a big tongue and licking everything. Everything's getting licked.
Oh, perfect. So with 22, you taste the glass. You detect a faint vibration and a very delicate, magical flavor that with a 22, I'll tell you, it is trapped. There is a spell called Alarm that if the glass is broken or moved, it will alert the kind of Swiss guard of the Frost Giant religion who will come to rip you in half.
Do we know if licking it set it off?
No, you do not think so.
Okay. Is there any sign of a lich anywhere around?
Perception?
Ozzy rolls a natural 20.
6!
17.
Basil was not a great contributor, but I'm glad everyone else had a good time.
Yeah, 19 and 29. 29 is a crit, means the party succeeds. And with the crit specifically, I think Oze, what is the telltale sign that Voya has been here? Because I'm going to give you the cold mechanical version of the answer, which is that Voya reconstituted and then just used Dimension Door to pop out. Mm-hmm. But how do you know that from knowing Voya?
All right, I think the way that Oze would know that Voya was here is that there is sort of like almost like a trace marking on the ground where the dust has been disrupted from where the spell was cast that would suggest not only was a specific spell cast, but a spell was cast in the star druid manner that he and Voya are. So he could basically he doesn't know what was done, but he in that case, but he would be like, I don't see Voya around here, but I know that Voya has been here and has cast some sort of magic from that spot over there.
Look, if we were to find a way to let them know that the stone had been liched, you've been around them a lot. What do you think they'd do?
Well, I mean, I imagine they would be very upset. It's not. It is a very precious. It is the most precious item in their culture. They would need magic to remove the lich from this, to make this not the lich's phylactery without destroying the Akashic Stone. It would be like if you found out, I don't know, that your family home was haunted, and the only way to get rid of the ghost was either to burn it down or be a very powerful sorcerer.
With that, I think you feel something, Slime, on your Remorae's tail, which like something bumps into it, and then you hear a voice say, "Get out of the trap door, Dillweed! I'm trying to get down there!"
Why are you trying to get down there? Here.
To join you!
To do what?
Move!
To do what?
Move your butt!
I'm trying. I'm kind of stuck. Hold on.
After a moment's wiggling and jiggling, you get enough of Slime out of the way that Nobi can bound down the stairs and update you all and say, "The Katamari's been smashed! They've rounded up some of the sheep, some of them have gotten away. The window's closing, folks. Oh, the stone! Let's smash it!"
I would recommend that you don't.
There is a guard on it. This glass will alert a very fierce frost giant guard.
What else do we come here to do? Look, we'll kill them too, and then we'll get out.
We're trying to leave minimal evidence of interference, because otherwise the frost giants will come and smash up our village.
Yeah, and if we have a lich that takes over our village, it may as well be smashed, so...
But we need the lich to close the veil.
Yeah, where's that nerd?
It looks like she disappeared from here. She has respawned.
But Aze now just thinks, if Voya isn't here, where could she have gone? Where would she have gone?
I mean, I'm guessing back to town, unfortunately.
We should get back to the village. Listen, I have a veil of shadows. Everyone get close and we will get out of here easily. And then we can find Voya. She can reinforce the veil. And I am still honestly hoping we can talk out things with Voya so that she is more cool.
I love this very level-headed, thoughtful, rational speech you just gave, Phillippa, which hangs in the air as Nobi charges headfirst into the glass and cracks it.
Oh,
Everyone under the veil.
I don't understand your motivation. Why did you do that?
Because there's a lich trying to take over our village, idiot!
Everyone under the veil. The guard will be coming.
Yeah, oh shit. They're just gonna walk into my butt?
I'm sorry, one more time.
Are they gonna walk into my butt? Like, what do I do? It's like invisible, but they're gonna...
Yeah, no, it's bad. It's very bad.
Phillippa starts ushering people to get up the stairs, and she calls to Nobi.
Nobi, leave that. Come on. The guard will be coming. We have to get out of here.
I grab Nobi in my mouth.
Nobi bites you.
I don't care. We're going.
All right, strength contests.
Shit, I'm gonna lose.
Let me get Nobi's.
hopefully you should win. You're a big fucking snake thing.
Yeah, but my strength is,
Nobi's quarry stats.
I've seen... No.
Are you fucking
26?
kidding me? Anyway.
So you try to pick up Nobi in your mouth, the Remorae's mouth, and Nobi just wrenches his body so violently to the side he rips your jaw off.
Oh, that's...
Fucking Is there any visible sign of quarry stuff going on, or is it entirely under control in that sense?
What's great about this is Sophia had Nobi go to Venta and get dyed black. So when Nobi uses the quarry, his floof turns black, but he's just always black now, so you can't tell. It would have been a dead giveaway.
So no big arm has appeared in Fury or anything.
No.
Okay.
It's a very stealthy.
I mean,
move.
that is still it is suspiciously much stronger than a sheep should be. I think that's probably a giveaway of something being up.
What's going on, mother? Oh, Nobi, you are here. I was having a nap in the head hole.
Yeah. Cat, tell these needle dicks they need to break this rock.
Wait.
Wait, no,
I am
Cat,
still
we can't
sleepy.
break the rock.
Why
Don't.
do we...
Tell the sheep no bad. Tell the
No.
sheep bad stuff. That bad.
Nobi, why do you want to break the rock? Did we find Voya?
It eats souls. Am I the only one here who has any brain?
Look, Nobi, I am not. I am certainly not doubting the fact that having a lich around is a real fucking risk, but
You're acting irrationally.
you are certainly jumping to things without the rest of this group, and I am concerned.
Neelith and Very and Ruth's souls are in the stone, and I'm the only one who cares.
Wait, Nobi, then we cannot destroy it, because then the souls will be destroyed.
Well, they'll just go to the afterlife. It's better than being fuel for a lich.
I recall the afterlife being blown up.
Yeah, do we know the afterlife doesn't exist anymore?
Religion?
8.
As it rolls a 16.
13.
17?
Yeah, with the 16 and 17. Basil, you were just created from nothing, and you're a being of pure holy light. So I think maybe you just came pre-programmed with the knowledge that there is an afterlife, but it's no longer the punishment and reward system like it is, in classic religion or, D&D as written. Instead, it's just kind of a nothingness called the gray. So I don't know how you want to present that, but there is an afterlife, and Neelith's soul will be able to go there instead of being trapped in a battery for a zombie wizard, which I don't know how that makes you feel, but those are the two choices.
If the souls of the people who died in Grendel are in there, are they still intact in there?
With the 17 and 16 on religion, I want to say no. Because Voya has respawned at least once, so they've been used a little bit at least.
Okay. Yeah, so I think what Basil's trying to work out here is there a benefit to do not destroy this stone and maybe find a way to get the souls out and something could be done? Like, magic that could maybe help might do it? No. If the souls are no longer complete in the stone, then there's probably not any abuse of that mechanically.
In that case, Phillippa is going to go,
Wait, there might be a point to this. If we attack the stone, it will at least get Voya's attention, and then maybe we can talk to her.
Incroyable. Unfortunately, you hear a voice yell in Giant from the first floor. Oi, what's all this then?
Have you got a license for this Remorace?
Plural or singular?
Well, you're in the basement. You only heard one voice. My question is, we roll initiative, or do you have something else you want to do? The Veil of Silence is still there, so we can do stealth. But Slime definitely has disadvantage.
my vote is definitely towards trying to stealth out under the Veil of Silence.
I think that's the wisest thing to do. If it goes south, I have a fucking last-ditch thought.
That would be 19 for Aze.
Haha, 22 is my lower one.
I got a 30 on stealth for Basil.
I got 26.
All right, the group passes. Now, you said, Sophie, the group sneaks out. You don't want to sneak. You don't want to stay in the basement and like crouch in the corners. You actually want to get out of the basement here.
I mean, that's what Phillippa was trying to urge people to do before.
Are we trying to bring the stone with us?
Well, we can't touch it without dying.
All right, so let's get this stealth roll going. So I think you all can like creep up the stairs. You see there's two frost giants up here. They are dressed differently than the normal guards who would just have, you know, like the big mail and the big horned helmets. These ones have some kind of ceremonial like purple robes that have some kind of religious significance, and they're carrying these gleaming double-sided axes. They're called labrises. And they're looking around for, I think what they assume is sheep. They're like, oh, I think there's a sheep over here. Nope, just a sexy carving.
Yo, like, you gotta check the rocks in this one, you know.
They're all carvings of Timothy Chalamet, because in giant culture they have no twinks, so twinks are a mythical creature that they worship sexually.
That's what Maud Dweeb translates to. The sacred twink. So you come up out of the basement and you can't, like, you could run for the door and get out of here, but you turn around and you see like Nobi's not coming with.
Yeah.
And Nobi is gone back to headbutt the glass again. This is like, yeah, this is a serious deal for him. So what do you do?
Cat has message because of her level in thing. So you point your finger toward a creature with range, whisper a message, target hears a message and can reply in a whisper that only you can hear, and Cat goes,
Nobi, you have to get out of the basement. There are two big giants.
If we don't destroy the stone, Voya will keep coming back. I am saving the village. I am a hero. Go be a sheep.
I don't understand. You are a sheep.
Am I?
Yes.
Headbutt again. Crack, crack, crack. And, this is getting the giants' attention, and they're coming over.
Nobi, you won't be able to touch the stone. It will overwhelm your mind and kill you.
Then help me.
You need to stop, Nobi.
Cat is gonna try to persuade Nobi. 16, and what Kat says is, with message,
We can only help you once the giants have gone away. We have to hide first.
I love that this persuasion checks are always this thing. Because, like an experienced player will tell you that's not mind control. But I do like the idea if you were playing like a Batman TTRPG and the Joker was like, yes, Bats, I'm on my latest crime spree. You'd be like, I roll persuasion to tell Joker, stop doing crime. Oh, I crit. He hates crime now. So with a 16, that's high enough that I think Nobi genuinely does consider it, turns around, starts coming back towards the stairs, and like you get to the top together, and then he grabs the door handle with his mouth and closes himself down, like pulls it. So basically closes himself down in the basement.
Phillippa tries to tug on the other side of the trapdoor to get her son out.
All right, strength contest. 29.
Botch 2.
Oh no. With a botch, it slams hard so loud, the giants definitely know someone's here, and
Phillippa lets out a little, yell. She's like, ah!
Yeah, roll initiative. With that botch, the giants see you, even with the Veil of Shadow.
All right. Ozzy has a 17.
19.
All right, so Frost Giants go last. Kat, you're up first. It's your turn. There are two of these. They're basically the Swiss Guard of the Vatican. They're badass, highly dressed, cool Frost Giants. What do?
Do they have halberds?
Labrises.
Oh. Kat is primarily excited to use new things that she learned, even if this isn't a sensible move, and casts Tash's hideous laughter on one of the guards.
All right, read that for the audience.
Yep. A creature of your choice that you can see within range perceives everything as hilariously funny and falls into fits of laughing if this spell affects it. The target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or fall prone, becoming incapacitated and unable to stand up for the duration. A creature with an intelligence score of 4 or less isn't affected. At the end of each turn, each time it takes damage, the target can make another wisdom saving throw. The target has advantage on the saving throw if it's triggered by damage. On a success, the spell ends.
All right, 6, failure, big failure.
Oh yeah, big time. So, yep, I've done that. There you go. Now I make one of them laugh.
Yeah, so one of them drops their Labras, it sticks into the ground dramatically, and they fall to their knees laughing. And the other one looks over and is like, "What's so funny? Is it?" Yeah, this guy right here, this carving, that's very funny. You see what he's doing? The curve on him, it's hilarious. Basil, your turn.
Could a frost giant fit through a 5-foot by 8-foot hole? If it opened below their feet?
How much of the frost giant?
I'm
Sorry,
hoping enough that they end up down where Nobi is.
Oh my god.
Because what I want to do is cast Pass Wall and make a 5 by 8 hole underneath this frost giant. In the hope that I can get them to see that there is a bigger threat than us right now.
I feel like for a frost giant, that would get them stuck in the ground, wouldn't it?
I love this. Yeah, with 5 feet wide is the thing there. I think they just got the hips are just not lying, but you can absolutely get them stuck, which in a battle is a really good idea.
Yeah, in that case, the one that's not laughing, I'm gonna cast Pass Wall right underneath its feet.
You're gonna bully the one that didn't bully you?
Did one of them bully me?
Yeah, the one laughing at you.
I didn't know they were laughing at me.
You just said they were... Oh, well, never mind. Just kidding.
Wait, what?
No, they're not laughing at you.
I think they're laughing at the statue.
Yeah, I thought they were laughing at a statue. I'm very confused why they're laughing at me.
You know what? I'm confused. Never mind.
Okay.
They were laughing at a statue, I think.
Okay. A passage appears at a point of my choice that I can see on a wooden floor, plaster, or stone surface, such as a wall, ceiling, or floor, within 30 feet of me. Lasts for up to an hour. Doesn't create any instability around it. So yeah, there's a hole underneath that frost giant.
Yeah, perfectly. This is great. One of them collapses in laughter. The other one falls and gets stuck like Winnie the Pooh in the floor. They're both vulnerable. They both anything you do will have advantage against them. One of them will snap out of laughter, but this is funny and good. So we're at Oze, I believe.
I think Oze is just going to use his bonus action to switch into starry form. He'll use the form of the cycle, kind of in anticipation of someone getting hurt, and he is going to just sort of ready casting Dignify on anyone kind of adjacent if they get hit by a frost giant, just as a thing. That's what he'll do for now, just preparing to heal someone as a reaction if they get hit by something off his turn for now. While just sort of keeping an eye on everyone and looking very suspiciously at the trapdoor that was slammed shut and held shut by Nobi, and trying to think of like his insistence on all this and on stuff. But that's all I can think of for the time being, Austin. I'm sorry.
Okay, then I cast Toll the Dead on one of them, whichever one everyone feels like is the best choice. Maybe the one stuck in the hole.
I would read. How about read Toll the Dead to the audience?
You point at one creature you can see within range, and the sound of a dolorous bell fills the air around it for a moment. I was hoping to like change the bell to like an ominous, like nightmare screech, but like a low one, like one you would hear from a cosmic horror, where it's like, like really deep. Yeah. I can't do it.
Okay, fair. Must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or take 1d8 necrotic damage, although you're at a higher level, so your cantrips are more powerful. I'm going to roll my wisdom, which is poor, with disadvantage. That's 8. I fail. You own me. Roll damage.
All right, 12.
All right, so you point at the frost giant who's stuck in the floor. There's a otherworldly growling, gurgling noise, and its mind slips farther from its body. it's gonna die. I mean, it's necrotic damage, so cells all over their body just spontaneously die from the sound.
So they're liquefying, right?
Very slowly, yeah. You did 12 damage. This is a frost giant, but yeah. Phillippa.
So they know that their death is coming, though.
Okay. So I can re-evoke my Flame Blade as a bonus action, but I can't use it because the action I'm going to use on this turn is to summon, using Conjure Animals at the 5th level, 3 giant constrictor snakes.
Buddies,
to
friends.
Constrict the boy who is in the floor.
It is now Frost Giant's turn. Tasha's hideous laughter victim is just going to try to save. 18.
Oh shit, that saves.
All right. He stops laughing and he says, "Upon further reflection, the naked body is not that funny. It's kind of a beautiful miracle if you think about it. So I'm going to kill all of you." And the other frost giant is going to, stuck halfway through the floor, raise the Labrys up and seemingly cast through it Sleet Storm, which is a icy, it is what it sounds like, freezing rain and sleet fall in a 20-foot cylinder with a 40-foot radius centered on a point you choose. When a creature enters the spell for the first time on a turn or starts its turn, they must make a dex saving throw. If they fail, they fall prone. Basically, you all are going to be slip sliding and falling down so that they can chop your heads off when you are on the ground.
Love that.
Snake's turn.
Snakes!
They don't have any problem with the dexterity. They can just crawl over the ground, I guess.
Fantastic. All 3 of them use Constrict on the boy. Melee weapon attack to hit reach 5. 16 is the roll on the move.
That hits.
Cool. And then the bludgeoning damage was 12, but times 3. So 36.
My word. So the constrictors all, I guess because he's stuck in the ground at the waist, they can crawl up to his neck and just start choking him out.
Nice.
Because they're giant constrictors. So we're back to Cat. Cat, you started your turn in the sleet, so dex save not to fall.
7.
You fall.
Do I need to take a turn to get up again?
No, it costs half your movement. Basically, if you stand up, you won't be able to get into melee range.
Yeah, well, from the floor, Cat would like to cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter.
Oh my god, here we go again.
That guy again. Same guy.
Oh, fuck me. 8. You know, on third floor, it is real funny when there's the donger out.
It is real funny when they have the donger out.
Oh, I thought about it again. It's right funny.
For the record, Austin, you're doing neither of our accents.
You know what? You could tell me I was perfect, and I would believe you just as much as I do now.
Basil is going to use Modify Memory first on the frost giant who is laughing because their incapacitation is more likely to be changed first of the two. So I'm going to need them to make a wisdom save.
All right. Do you want to read that to the audience?
Yeah.
Modify memory.
You attempt to reshape another creature's memories. One creature that you can see must make a wisdom saving throw. If you're fighting the creature, it has advantage on the saving throw, but we have advantage against it, and I'm assuming that's going to cancel out.
Mm-hmm.
On a failed save, the target becomes charmed for you for the duration, which is up to a minute. The charmed target is incapacitated and unaware of its surroundings. If it takes any damage or is targeted by another spell, this will end. You can take any event it's experienced within the last 24 hours that lasted no more than 10 minutes, and you can either permanently eliminate memory of the event, change the details of how it remembers it, create a memory of something different. You can change what it remembers occurring.
I just came in here with Kevin, and then he fell on the floor, and then there were snakes everywhere, and it was really funny.
Interesting wrinkle here. It says you must speak to the target to describe how its memories are affected, and it must be able to understand your language. You don't speak giant, do you?
Oh, no. And I could cast tongues, but that I don't have enough spell slots to do tongues and double modify memory.
Even though in the book Frost Giants only speak Frost Giant, I'm gonna say that these ones speak Common because they're special religious ones, and they probably have read texts in a couple of different languages. So this wouldn't work on all just like the grunt guards, but these specific religious guards.
They've run enough manga to know a few words, yeah. So
yeah,
if it says nani or ikadakimasu, they're like, yeah, I know that one, but they're not conversational.
So Basil is going to start altering the memory of the laughing frost giant. This is going to take some time, and we need nothing else to attack or use magic on that frost giant while I'm doing it.
All right, I'm gonna roll now. What do I have to?
15.
All right, here we go.
Oh,
19.
really? Well,
it
is what it is. Here was me being like, oh, frost giants, they're not going to be particularly wise. I'll be fine.
I mean, only +3. It's only a +3.
Well, there we go. That was a diversion we took. Anyway, someone else's turn.
Yeah, I mean, you still have one spell slot. You could try it again, and the party could kill the other one.
Yeah, the problem is I was hoping that we could avoid killing either of them, and that's now not gonna be on the table. Or at least this method isn't going to make that work.
yeah, boy, oh boy, this is just a wild bit of a mess here. I just don't have a lot of useful spells to help in this other than just doing straight up damage. I guess, well, first and foremost, do I need to save to avoid falling on the ground, right?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that for Basil, but yes.
Yeah. I'd say he does not fall on the ground. He rolls a 19.
Wow.
Shoot. Sorry. What he will do is try to knock out or at least disrupt the spell being cast by the frost giant that's in the floor by use of Starry Whip. So the attack rolls a 27 on that.
Definitely hits.
And Aze will do 10 piercing damage and not pull the giant out from the floor. And just try to disrupt its concentration on its spell.
Yep. A Constitution saving throw.
Right.
Botched.
Wow.
But 9. What did I have to beat? A 5?
It would have to be. It's either a 10 or half the damage, whichever is higher.
Oh, so 10. Yeah. So the sleet storm ceases as you whip him across the face.
Mm-hmm. And that's Aze's turn.
All right. 10 damage on top of that massive boa constrictor attack. A lot of damage, actually. Back to Slime.
And we don't know how much HP they have, obviously. All right, I'm going to poison spray the one stuck in the ground.
You extend your hand towards the creature you can see. The creature must make a Constitution saving throw or take 1d12.
Oh, I open my maw, which is already partially broken because there's a hole in my head and my jaw got ripped off. And out of my snake trachea comes the noxious gas. Yeah, my snakea.
It had to be said.
12, that fails.
Mm-hmm.
15. A crit and a fail in those rolls.
Yeah, lethal or non-lethal. Although it's poison spray, by the rules, I shouldn't give you this choice. But that's what we do here at Dice Funk, is violence is mandatory, but killing is not. What do you do?
Do you think killing someone or forcing someone to think something, which one's worse? Anyway, I want them to die, I guess. Yes.
Uh-huh.
I feel bad about it, but, you know.
Yeah, so you just, from your...
They just disintegrate, and then there's a hole in the ground, because it's all... I used, like, necrotic and poison, so they should melt away, right? And then there's a hole in the ground?
You can melt, like, his face off with your snakea juice, but not the whole entire 2,500-pound man.
He's been blighted and poisoned. You can't say that he's going to melt enough to fall through the hole.
I think you need to take another turn if you want to liquidate the entire body. Did you ever see Breaking Bad? It's quite a thing to melt a whole body.
Well, yeah, if you don't put it in the PVC tub. Duh.
Idiots. Phillippa, it's your turn. You see Slime melt the head of one of the guards. There's one remaining. No damage. He's laughing.
If we don't kill this man, he's going to be mentally ill forever.
Go.
Like, we have to do it now. Oh. Like, what have we done to him? It's too late.
Phillippa is going to try to cut through the trapdoor with her flame blade. Jump.
So yeah, I think if you ram the sword into the handle or whatever, you can melt enough of it, and that the lock, the mechanism holding it closed is useless, and you pop the door open. And with the light from the flaming sword, you can see down in the basement the aftermath of what has gone on down there. You also see the legs from the frost giant hanging down into the basement from the dead man, which is pretty grim. Just these two big legs from someone whose face is melted. That's dark. And then you look across the room and you see the glass has been fully shattered and the Akashic stone has been split in half.
Oh, Christ.
And Nobi comes bounding up to you and says, "Okay, I did it. Let's go."
Nobi, what have you done?
I solved our problem. Let's get out of here.
You took Neela's soul away.
No, Nobi, this is really bad. We won't be able to reinforce the veil against the dreaming dark.
Well, I mean, hopefully we can still do it if Gigi forms with the what's it thing.
So at this point, Nobi just pushes past you, walks up the stairs, and start going towards the front of the church. I'm going to roll against the Tasha's hideous laughter now. Fail. So the frost giant looks over, sees his buddy's face has been completely melted off, and goes from being on his knees to just fully face down on the ground, sob laughing, unable to really do anything.
This is dark as fuck. This is so fucking dark.
It's a lot, yeah. I mean, you broke into these people's village to try to destroy their sacred artifact when their one rule was leave us alone. It was kind of always going in this direction. What do you do? We're not really in combat anymore for the moment.
Nobi, why did you do that? Neelith was in the rock.
I explained this to you like 6 times. I'm out of here. Bye.
Don't. You stay here.
Stop me, hooker.
Okay, I cast Dominate Person.
Okay. Interesting. Read Dominate Person to the audience.
You attempt to beguile a humanoid. Fucking Nobi counts. Shut the fuck up. Make him stand on his 2 hind feet.
If Nobi doesn't count, I will use Hold Monster.
Also, humanoid is definitely a D&D term for defining which ones are going to be characters, like... Yeah.
It must succeed a wisdom saving throw or be charmed by you for the duration. If you are creatures that are friendly to you are fighting it, it has advantage on the saving throw. We're not fighting Nobi.
Everyone's so defensive.
While the target is charmed, you have a telepathic link with it as long as the 2 of you are on the same plane of existence.
All right, Nobi's going to try to save against Dominate Person. Here it comes. 26.
Nobi, you're a sheep. How are you able to do that?
I'm still a person. Also, Mother, she just tried to take over my body. Please arrest her.
I try to take over his thoughts. Thank you.
Slime, you shouldn't try to take over his thoughts. We did actually have a whole discussion about this. To do with consent, remember?
Yeah, if you take away everyone else's consent, I'm going to take away yours.
Slime, him doing something that is different from what you wanted is not him overriding everyone's consent in the same way as dominating his thoughts with a spell.
Agree to disagree.
Slime, this is a serious issue to do with the way you exist in the village.
The way I exist in the village? I don't think I'd broke the Akashic Stone.
I agree, and that is also an issue, but what about all of the trouble we have been having with Mold? To do with concerns that he will take over everyone's brains, and now you're just trying to take over someone's brain.
To be fair, I did also try to take over Mold's brain. So, I'm not treating anyone else's kid differently.
You heard her. She's crossed the line. Strike her down.
Nobi, that's not helpful. And we'll deal with you later, young man. But Slime, you shouldn't be trying to take over people's thoughts.
Would you rather of Nobi not listening to you, walked right out and let all the frost giants know that we are here?
No, and why does it have to be... Nobi, you are right, we should get out of here. We should stick together so that we can pass without trace together, but you, and also you, these are serious issues.
Right now, all of us need to get out of here. What is done is done. We can deal with that when we are out of here. There are serious problems with that sheep breaking a fucking jaw off, and with you trying to... I 100% understand why you did it, but we can deal with that when we get out of here, and we will deal with all of the really bad things that all of you have done today. We will deal with them when we get out of here. Can we please leave?
We also have to kill the other first giant.
I think Basil is going to walk back and make one more attempt to use Modify Memory.
All right, here we go again. Crit 23.
Okay.
Just once again with only a +3 modifier. I'm not even being the asshole here. The dice are just not interested.
No, the dice are just fucking sandbagging me today.
God damn it.
So no one's going to question the validity of changing someone's memories versus dominating their mind? No, that's different.
Well, I was going to say, first of all, I don't know if the other people in the party know that is happening.
I was going on, I didn't. Basil didn't announce it to the group. I'm trying to change that guy's memories.
Yeah, Basil has not announced the spell, and it has not been used on any of the party. I don't think any of the party...
My human rights violation was seen. Basil's was not. I see.
And the giant who is being casted on is laughing on the ground and is unable to really communicate anything effectively. So there's
additionally, that is also loss of control of their body. Just saying. Just putting it out there.
Yeah.
Just putting it out there.
But they are also enemy combatants who were going to attack us before. So like there's a lot of...
Yeah.
Let's move on from this situation and have this discussion in a different location.
Okay, so speaking of different location, you're all like, we gotta get out of here. Basil, you turn back, your like horn glows and nothing happens, and you just like turn back to the party like, I tried, but don't specify how. And then Nobi walks over to the laughing frost giant and just buries his teeth into his throat and just starts trying to rip it out.
Does what?
Even with his enhanced strength, it's going to take a minute. It's not instantaneous.
Phillippa commands her giant snakes to snack the giant.
All right, yeah. I was like, was someone's like, Nobi, stop, what? But you're just like, let's just try to hurry this up.
Phillippa said we gotta kill this guy, and then Nobi does it.
As soon as it's done, I think that Basil is going to say, okay, fine, we've done the murder, can we please get out of here?
Yes, I will again pass without trace.
Why is Nobi so strong?
Yeah, Nobi, you're very strong.
Why is Nobi able to fend off my immoral attempt at dominating his brain?
It's called the adrenaline that you get when you try to help people instead of run away like a little pussy.
Look, as well as you cracking the stone when that was not the plan and not what you should have done, you have a general bad attitude today. You are being very rude.
Yeah, well, one false step gets everybody in the village stepped on, so excuse me for being efficient. I'm an operator.
Calling one of your team a hooker is not actually efficient.
Yeah, Nobi, you can't ride on my head anymore and pretend that I am a noble steed that you tamed.
Aze will quip as he's been honestly just sort of like a little struck at the Akashic stone being split and what the implications of that are. We'll just be like, So I guess in some situations, retreating and coming up with a better plan isn't the right course of action, Nobi. But
so you say that as you open the doors to the church and step out into the rest of the village, which you are struck by an eerie silence that has fallen over it. There was people running around, there was the Katamari, there was, shouting and things being knocked over, and now there's just nothing.
Can I roll insight to just suspect something weird is going on with Nobi after trying to cast a spell on him and witnessing enhanced strength?
Sure. Yeah.
Thank you. And that's not even my highest thing. I just want the chance to acknowledge that this is weird. It's not, I only have a +2 on there, so I could fuck it up. 17. Just to suspect, just to be like, that's not adding up.
Yeah. No, it's very weird. Nobody's badass.
Yeah. So can a slime officially think something's weird has happening? I rolled a 17.
Can you officially think? Yes, you can. Maybe you even stop in your tracks because of the eerie silence. You look over to Nobi, you think this, and then there's just there's a lot going on here. I don't know what you prioritize, but there's several different vectors of wrongness hitting you at once.
Can I roll religion to see if something's happened that I might understand to do with the Akashic Stone, to do with the Frost Giant Village, and the Akashic Stone being destroyed?
I think it's Arcana is actually what we want here.
Okay. 18.
Perfect. Yep. What you notice with an 18 is that it's not just silent out here. You look across the expanse of the village square, just where like people ran across, chasing after the Katamari. And not only is it silent, but the snowflakes which are falling in the midday snow, the flakes are frozen in the air, just motionless.
I wonder if I should amplify that to push it over 20. Is the question.
I mean, 18's high. I'll say that it appears
20.
just adding on there. I mean, the spell is called Time Stop, and it is probably the most, maybe besides Wish, the most powerful magic spell in existence. And you don't even know, like, we've hyped Voya up all season. You don't even know if Voya would be able to cast it without some assistance. But it's bending reality in a real terrifying way.
Mother Time. Nothing is moving.
That's all right. I've gone through oceans of time. Time and no time have no meaning. We're all gonna die one day. So appreciate today. Love you. Mwah.
I'm guessing this is a little different to I'm used to things feeling like they take a long time compared to everyone else. I'm guessing this isn't that.
You're not just very bored. This is actually slow time.
Cat wants to walk further out into the village, like see if there's a perimeter to this or anything.
Yeah. Why don't you roll me perception to see what you see out here?
Yeah, Aze is following along with Kat, trying to get towards the entrance. 14 on the perception for Aze.
Right. Basil's got a 7 on perception.
17.
Yeah, 17 is the only pass. So the party fails to see everything. What you see is that all across the village, within your line of sight, there are frost giants frozen in place. Some are running after loose sheep. Some have like armfuls of sheep they were bringing to like a pen that they caught. Some of them are like cleaning up the mess from what the sheep knocked over. They're all just frozen. The sheep as well. Everyone's just frozen in time, and the snowflakes are frozen in the air. What I'll give you is that if you look to like the edge of the village, like through the smashed door that the Katamari hit like through, you can see snowflakes falling outside the village in normal time. So it seems to be limited to the village.
We're in a snow globe.
Lamau.
True.
I don't know what Lamau means.
Laughing my ass off.
Laughing my ass off.
Oh.
It's like saying lol, you know?
Cat would like to run out of the village. Get out. Get out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Kat, you go running off, ahead charging, and you hear a voice above you say, "What did my rock ever do to you?"
A lot. Goodbye.
Cat's gonna look up to see where the voice came from.
Yeah.
You look up, and sitting on top of the gate, the entrance gate, kicking her little feet over the edge, is Voya the Lich. She is holding some kind of item in her hand. It is like a long white wand, it looks like, and it is glowing fiercely with magic. In fact, it is glowing so much it hurts to look at.
Oh no.
But it seems to be the source of the time stop, because she is vaguely pointing it in the direction of the village as she kicks her little feet over the edge, seemingly waiting for you to have emerged from the church.
We did not want to break the rock. We said not to, but no, we broke the rock. We just wanted to talk to you, but you are not vanished by the rock, but you have a wand, but you are not dead. I have a lot of questions. What is your wand?
She kind of brandishes the wand, like does a little baton move, like conducting an orchestra, and she says, "I just had to stop by the armory after I came back out of my phylactery. I needed a little upgrade to fortify the veil in the village. You like it? It's a tooth from the Jormungandr, a great serpent that circled the world. It's a very powerful magical item. You can see its work. It speaks for itself." And she gestures to the frozen time that all the other giants are stuck in.
I am sorry about your rock.
I recognize that I should be upset with you, but to be honest, I don't feel much of anything. This is my final life. I'll try to enjoy it as much as I can.
Can you help us?
I believe we've had this conversation before. It's written in the stars.
That you will help us?
Of course. That's what all this has been for. You took it upon yourself to deny an eternal reign of Governor Voya. But I'll have some years in me before the weather takes everything useful off my bones.
Sorry for killing you the other day. My son's kind of going through a lot, but, you know, I gotta stick by him.
I will say, I do not trust your motives, but the fact that you no longer are literally eternal makes me mildly less concerned. Because that was a big part of the problem. Eternal reign of dictation, particularly bad.
I agree, only death reigns eternal.
Bringing it back around. I love that. As we near the end, you got to bookend all of your extremely ominous statements. Voya says, Unicorn, you're an interesting one. I haven't accounted for you in my star charts. You're fresh.
Well, that's nicer than the last thing you called me.
I'm going to need all of the star signs and charts and figures for all of the villagers who have arrived since I left. I can't finalize my readings if I don't know all the variables.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Do each and every one of my cells need a chart?
I mean, this is the whole motif we've been going through all season is like selfhood, personhood, what is any of this, you know? So you don't have to have the perfect answer right now, but...
How about the easiest answer of, sure.
No, I was going to say, I think slime has a sign as one person, and each of the cells could have their own sign as well.
Mm-hmm. That was going to be my suspicion, honestly, as the nerd who invented this astrology system, so...
All of my slimes are sharing memes about each of their own astrology signs.
Slime
now.
is the unpredictable variable we will call back to later and go, aha, you didn't account for slime.
Here's my suspicion. When Aze presented Slime with her tarot card, all the little slimes in all the little cells started manufacturing their own tarot cards to trade with each other. So there's a whole economy of tarot card trading that's going on inside of the slime colony.
I love this. Yes.
With all this talk of star signs, though, I think Nobi's ears perk up because I know none of you know this in character, but obviously we've all sat through the scenes where Inri had Nobi go around the village and gather up this star information for Voya's eventual return. This was literally always necessary, and so like there was a question of like why did Inri want Nobi to get all that star stuff? It's literally for this.
Yeah. Aze will just say up to Voya, if you need any, information, I should have most of the villagers accounted for. I have been drafting information about them during the winter and since we've returned to Grendel.
Voya just very nonchalantly pushes off the edge of the gate she's sitting on and just slowly floats down to the ground. Her feet just like gently touch down. And she says, I take it you didn't leave any survivors. Looking around, it seems like you can write this one off as a sheep attack.
There are no survivors that have seen us, no.
Are you saying that we co-opted a group of individuals and their uprising and then left them to deal with the consequences of said uprising on their own?
Yeah.
That was always the plan.
I mean, Sophie literally did the Afghanistan thing last episode.
Yeah.
No.
Anyway, this episode is dedicated
Oh
to
my
the
God.
brave sheep fighters
Mujahideen.
of Grendel Mountain.
Oh fuck, that's good. But yeah, Voya floats down and joins the party and just beckons you to follow as she floats out of the Frost Giant village, leaving carnage in your wake, which I guess you have to live with.
Are we going to reinforce the veil?
Well, we need to return to Grendel first, I believe, to reinforce it there specifically.
You got somewhere else to be?
No, I am just anxious to not have the Dreaming Dark kill everyone I know and love.
Oh, I think at this, Nobi seems pretty upset. Maybe he doesn't show it to everybody. Like maybe falls back to the back of the pack, because Nobi maybe in his mind was like, "I'll destroy the stone, and then Voya will be powerless or dead or something." And like here is Voya still on her last life. Like she doesn't have any 1-ups left, but Nobi is going to have to kill her now. A 1v1 Final Destination Fox no items in order to actually win.
I think as this walk back is happening, I think Basil is going to use telepathy, a thing that Basil can just do, to one by one, to Cat, Phillippa, Slime, and Arze. I have huge problems with how today went, but I have bigger concerns about Voya.
Yes, I am also concerned.
I think that Voya can definitely be helpful, but I will definitely be looking for ways to make sure Voya does not have that unlimited power over us that she seems to be ready to exert.
If we have to, will you help us to stop her?
It depends on whether it comes to that, and I still don't see a reason why it would.
I still maintain this is someone who was very ready to let everyone in Grendel die if she didn't get her way, who has access to unfathomable power.
I don't agree that that's where her heart is.
She isn't on the egregore.
She isn't on the egregore, no.
And she said she would let all of us die. I think it is pretty obvious where her heart is, and I'm sorry to say that.
I am open to seeing evidence to the contrary, but right now...
I'm personally more curious and concerned about how Nobi was able to destroy the Akashic Stone on his own without any negative repercussion from touching it.
Why do you think I didn't tag him into this call?
That is the more pressing concern that I have.
I think both are I think both are imminently problems.
Phillippa says to Nobi out loud,
Nobi, how were you able to destroy the Akashic Stone without it overwhelming you? Because touching it has destroyed the minds of everybody else. Except for Mold.
Oh, there was a big ceremonial axe, and I knocked it over, and it went through the glass and cut the rock.
Oh. Okay.
In the HBO adaptation, there's just a flash to the quarry picking up the big ceremonial axe in its giant claws and doing the same thing.
Oh, so there was a big ceremonial axe in there.
Yeah, the labrises, they're like these double-sided axes that the frost giants use.
Mm-hmm.
How did you pick up the axe? Oh, it fell down.
Yeah,
Never mind.
Mm-hmm.
Phillippa buys it.
Perfect.
Wait, with my pre-established, within rules established suspicion, can I be suspicious?
Yeah, you can be suspicious.
Can I be suspicious enough to cast Detect Thoughts?
I think you should do it.
I think I should be suspicious enough because I've already established that there's several pieces of evidence that made me suspicious, and then I rolled being suspicious, so I think I have a good enough reason to cast that.
Detect thoughts. Here we are again.
Yep.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
This is the thing that was taken at the last level up that I will verify was taken.
Oh, I didn't even realize that. I didn't even realize that was the thing that was taken because you didn't direct my attention to what it was.
Laura was actually the one who suggested it because I don't actually.
I'm a chaos being.
I know Laura has planned chaos. I'm like, I don't know. What do I say right now? Buttholes? I don't know. Like,
I floated that it was an available option, and Mario seemed very interested in it narratively.
So you cast Detect Thoughts on Nobi? Mm-hmm. Can you make a Charisma saving throw?
a charisma saving throw, you monster. Hold on.
Uh-huh.
How? Why? Why do I have to do a charisma saving throw?
I will explain to you momentarily.
18. Fuck you.
Yeah.
And I have a -1.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
This is page 307 of the Eberron book.
I can't fucking believe I knew you were walking away to ruin this for me.
I was just saying from the Eberron book where the quarry are featured.
Whatever. Whatever.
No, you passed. You're acting like you failed.
Yeah, but you were planning to make me fail. I already know this.
No.
I don't know how that even means anything.
Yeah. No, this is
Planning
like,
on you failing.
you could have read up what Corey were preemptively.
No, because I have to roleplay that I don't know what it is, so I just didn't look it up.
No, that's perfectly good. What was going to happen there was in response to you casting the spell, which he can see because you don't have the sorcerer feature where you can make your spells undetectable. He was just going to jump into your body, the quarry, which they can do. Mm-hmm. They have an ability called possession. You have to make a charisma saving throw to avoid it, which you did. So the quarry doesn't jump into your body, which would have been such a good stinger on this episode.
Yeah, but that would have made Nobi so upset. So it still would have been fun drama.
But detect thoughts, you get the surface thoughts of Nobi's questioning. So, oh boy.
Yeah.
Because the questioning was about how'd you break the rock, and so I think you get a vision of the big ceremonial labrys lifting up, and you don't get a good look at the quarry claws. I guess it's like he's lying because you don't see him tipping it over. You see from Nobi's perspective, like a memory of him seeing the labrys floating up in front and being swung. You ever played the video game The Darkness?
And I'm not going to think it's weird that it was floating in the air.
No, you absolutely should. No, he's lying. He's lying.
Yeah.
Okay, and I would like to attempt to probe deeper now.
Okay, so now we have to do a check here.
Another one? Oh, wait. Now I'm scared, actually.
Yeah, this is the detect thoughts, can you dig deeper check.
Okay. I can't get possessed yet, though, right? There's no more further possession threats.
So possession has a recharge. I have to roll to see if I can use it again.
Okay.
But let me do this intelligence check here. Ooh, wow. Quarry are not particularly smart. They're just kind of a collection of dreams. That's a botch. Uh-oh.
Oh.
Oh.
Wow. Okay, so the party's walking back to Grendel. I think you can see it in the distance, although it's slightly obscured by falling snow. And then you start casting this spell. Maybe everyone keeps walking, but Nobi and Slime stop because you're casting spells and nobody's noticing you casting spells. And you have this almost like psychic duel where you detect thoughts. He tries to possess you. You detect thoughts harder, and you win each of these exchanges. And then it's just Slime and Nobi looking at each other in the snowfall. The rest of the party... you kind of get not far enough away that you lose them or anything, but you're just walking. You haven't noticed they've stopped yet, and you see Grendel in the distance, and something is wrong with it. Can you roll perception for me?
Sure can.
Yeah.
They're all having a scanners battle in the background there.
14.
28 from Aze.
23 and 28 are going to pass. Aze, with your 28, you see it first. Where you're standing, it is snowing. Snow is falling. Up ahead in Grendel, the sun is shining. The sun is out. It's beach weather. It's hot looking.
Beach episode.
The grass is green. Something very, very strange has happened to the village in your absence.
We couldn't have been gone for that long, could we?
Voya, did you make it? Summer in the village.
Voya says, I didn't. Do you have any other powerful wizards back there who could change the sun in the sky?
Would Mold be able to do anything like that?
I think that Anne might have helped Mold do something very stupid. I think Mold might have tried to give everyone everything they want.
I was following the pack, all swallowed in their coats, with scarves of red tied round their throats to keep their little heads from falling in the snow. And I turned round and there you go, and Michael, you would fall and turn the white snow red as strawberries in the summertime.